未来洗联储还 HDO 洗币会别人抢着来成为国家流通的货币。接下来被国家认可、主权认可、主权流通，甚至大的这招手地控制的金融集团流通，这是一定会发生的。
Good evening, good morning. Welcome to episode 64 of Crypto News Talk. Today we are going to talk about Ripple and SEC. My name is Bindi and I have two guests here. You have Jessie as well as Lily. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm Lily and I'm from greeting you good morning from Australia. Over to you, Jessie.
All right, good day and welcome back, Lily. It's good to have you back. And Jessie from Australia. Good day.
Okay. Today's topic, we have judge dismisses SEC's attempt appeal. It's actually an appeal. That's how they can actually turn down the appeal and dismiss the appeal against Ripple ruling. And of course, this is a big hit as far as SEC is concerned. Next slide, please. Now, with the next slide, we have we're going to talk about a brief summary. Now, in brief, the judge has turned down turned down SEC's case, saying that they actually do not have any legal framework for the appeal. That's not good. Now, Ripple. Let's have a look at what Ripple means. Ripple has been around for some time, and Ripple. Give me a second. Sorry. Ripple is, of course, blockchain-based digital payment network and protocol of its own XRP. A lot of people have been watching XRP prices for a long time. Well, the significance is because XRP is actually developed by a bank, or used by a bank. Next, XRP. Next slide, Flower. XRP, native token of Ripple, founded in 2011. And it's pre-minted and has a supply of 100 billion tokens. Next, we are going to revisit FTX. Why we are talking about FTX? Only because the article has also mentioned FTX along the way. It says that the lack of legal framework on cryptocurrency does not prevent the DOJ from bringing up a case against FTX. And of course, we have one of the biggest criminal in the century, and that's SBF. Flower, if you can have the next slide. Yes, SBF and his ugly face. He is a so-called entrepreneur, or more like the biggest crook. He is the CEO of cryptocurrency exchange FTX and associated trading firm Alameda Research. And of course, we all know that he is now been detained pending trial. And he has swindled actually a lot of money. So going back into our discussion question number one, we're going to talk about why the judge has dismissed SEC's attempt to appeal Ripple ruling. We're going to start with Jessie. Jessie, can we have your comment whether this is actually surprising or not to you for the judge to dismiss the appeal? Over to you, Jessie.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a win for crypto industry as a whole, actually, because I think SEC got a partial win. Why do we say that? Because the Judge Torres actually ruled that some of Ripple's sales of XRP did not violate the securities law. That's true, but she also ruled that other direct sales of token to institutional investors were securities. Now that's a partial win for SEC, and we know that we need the liquidity, and institutional investors are important in the whole food chain, right? And that's what I thought. It might take a while to play out, but has the damage been done? We don't know. The verdict is still out there. The jury hasn't come back. But the cold water bucket has already done the intended job on the whole industry, meaning liquidity that we are looking at, especially to establish the conduit between the fiat and the currency world, the digital currency world. Now we also know that interlocutory orders are, most of the time are made in urgent cases and last until other orders or final orders are made. So this is something that we will keep an eye out on, because you cannot file an application for interlocutory orders, unless you have filed an application for final orders. So what is it that SEC has done? Well, I think it's pretty clear that the judge has said, SEC has failed to meet its burden under the law, to show that essentially, one, that the controlling question of the law, or are there substantial ground for differences of opinion, or SEC hasn't come back. I think that's what they drag the feet, because this case has been since 2020. I think this is part of SEC's, and well, we know that is by rule by enforcement, and then wing their way around, and then hopefully and get something. But then, having said that, SEC lawyers actually argued something. They said, they argued that this rival case will have a substantial impact on other pending litigation, like crypto trading platforms like Binance, Coinbase, etc. So that's coming from the mouth. Substantial impact. We know what Binance done. Mr. Moscow has shared with us, shed light on that, elucidate for us. But still, the verdict is still out there. But that's my view. Back to you.
The market has certainly taken this as a positive as far as the crypto industry is concerned, and they have reflected this in the price of SRP, which has gone up 5%. Lily, what do you think? Is it a win, or still not so much a win as far as the crypto industry is concerned?
Well, I think the price says it all. It's a temporary win for now. I think the reason that this happened is because it just exposed the case, the legal tussle between SEC and Ripple, just exposed that how far the SEC's laws are behind time. Well, the crypto industry has advanced itself in technologies, always coming out of innovative ways. That's the way financial industry works. And so SEC will just have to catch up. If it wants to win its case, it will have to catch up its legal framework, coming up with laws to regulate these cryptocurrencies. In the meantime, they smart money will move where it sort of works best. So I would say that 5% sort of rise in price in XRP, that's the judgment of the market for now.
Now, we want to move on to question number 2. The question is always, is SEC fighting a losing battle? Jesse?
Yeah, so in the long term, surely, just on what type of well, I'll start with this actually. All right. Now all eyes are on Grayscale and of course the ETF, and we know we have Franklin Templeton, one of the largest, with assets manager. They have filed with security SECs for a spot Bitcoin ETF also. So we have a lot of the big boys coming forward to file application for a spot Bitcoin ETF already. So I think SEC is feeling the heat. They have delayed these 7 decisions on existing proposal for the spot Bitcoin ETF, or like for example from BlackRock, from Fidelity, WisdomTree, Bitwise, and etc. But can I point to something which is happening, which means it could be the final nail on the head of SEC. Now, someone called the chair of SEC, the commission chair, Gary Gensler, called him an impartial regulator, and then called him that he takes regulation by harassment approach, and that's none other than Emmer, right? That's the senator, the Minnesota Republican and majority whip, right? Now he's Mr. Emmer. Now he is jostling and vying for the House Majority Leader. Yes, there is a standing in now. There's an acting now, but ever since Kevin McCarthy is out, if Emmer in, the market is reading it as good news, because it means that their seniority enough to get a push or across the finishing line, especially in the House, Senate, we're not so sure. But Emma has always been supportive of a bill. He takes a comprehensive approach in creating a regulatory framework for crypto as a whole. Yeah, and that is important because they have put forward a bill that is a separate bill to regulate stable coins, and that's advancing out from the what is the House Financial Services Committee, right? And both of the person leading it, they are really in for stable coins and for this. So I think it augurs well, but whether they can get it through or not, the market has taken note of this. Actually, thanks.
Lily, what do you think? This is an age of DeFi and blockchain technology, and SEC is still wanting to hang on to, of course, the fiat, the traditional banking way, as well as the financial sector. Now, with Grayscale securing the second landmark, does this signal SEC is really losing the battle?
Certainly, yes. Like the BIS, Bank for International Settlement, is really looking at like the big boys behind international settlements are really looking at cryptocurrencies and DeFi. So they are the one that determine the rules in the market. They are the market maker in a sense. Even Visas, PayPal, they are all looking at cryptocurrency as cross-border, as a means of cross-border payments. Like I just, as a sort of like user of, as a consumer, I would hate to think going back to the days of having to wait 4 days of getting remittance clear from overseas and then checked by the bank. Whereas if you use stable coins as a means of payment, it's instant, almost point to point. Who will want to go back to the days where you want to wait 4 days for your international payment to be clear? People, seller and buyers in Amazon wouldn't do that. And we know for sure that e-commerce will take off even by the Web3 introduction of Web3. E-commerce will take off even greater. So yes, I would say SEC is fighting, having its last fight. Yeah.
Losing his last fight. Last fight. I'm sure there are more because when they looked at Blackstone and BlackRock and all the rest, they actually said that they are going to they are still going to clamp it down because ultimately, who is the master that they serve? We don't know. We know, but we don't know. Let's have a look at MileScore, what MileScore has to say. Flower, over to you.
全世界现在没有任何国家有数字货币法。 但是所有的国家都用什么银行的管理办法、证券管理办法来管数字货币，这叫什么？不是耍流氓，耍他姥姥的很 low 的流氓方式。为什么？纸币发生之前，金币和银币的管理条例当时是有储备的，黄金储备、白银储备。你为啥纸币诞生以后不按照那个金币和银币的规则来被监管呢？你要有储备金，1:1的储备金，1:20储备金，而且你有兑现的责任。所有的法币。 从过去的金本位、银本位干着1分金1分银不兑现，突然就变成纸币了。变成纸币还不说，后面加一句话：所有国家的法币我们没有兑现的责任。然后它有印刷的责任，有印刷的权利，我使劲印刷。美联储非常清楚它面临的什么挑战，当前是通货膨胀。 全球货币整个蒸发，而且呢，现在数字货币的到来是它最大挑战。它是不可能把数字货币给掐死的，但是在没掐死之前，它是肯定得使劲掐，掐的中间找出来与数字货币共存的方式。那所有数字货币让他最不放心的就是所谓的，他认为他利用数字货币去中心化，然后对抗了美元。还有一个就是 KYC， 所谓的反恐。数字货币经过了一系列的挫折之后。 它在信用积累和法币的联合下， 它将成为未来的绝对全球化唯一认可的货币。
Of course, Malsco talk about how fiat currency come along. Fiat currency has it's not pegged to anything. Basically, it's pegged to the honor of the government issuing it, the issuing party. Now, with the governments today being who they are, and the way they're treating the people holding the currencies. So I'm just wondering, where do you see what with the onset of DeFi and blockchain technology, and especially with more and more stable coins purportedly pegged to gold. We have in our past episode talked about several stable coins. They are pegged to gold. Even African countries are coming up with gold-based CBDC. Jesse, what do you think? Where does this, when this takes off, where is this going to leave fiat currency, even CBDC that is not pegged to gold?
Well, in the essence of things, right, I don't think there's anything wrong with fiat currency, but I know I don't throw stones, but it's the debasement of the fiat currency actually, and the fact that we might see that, hey, you know what, our pay, our wages, our salary has gone up, but our purchasing power has actually dropped. Some might say, yeah, but that's supply shock, the supply-led inflation or demand-led inflation. Now we're slowly coming to demand-led inflation. Still we're looking at a debasement of currency, and that's affecting everyone, especially the middle class, isn't it? Now, when it comes to the technology, really, and we have said this before, it is a human failing. So they are saying, oh, look at FTX and etc. And they're saying, look, that's why crypto shouldn't be in. That's why we shouldn't be granting a carte blanche permission for blockchain or for crypto. But that's human failing. It's not a technology failure. The technology, there's nothing wrong with the technology. So they're fighting against the trend, like Mr. Mausko has said. And actually, remember, the federal court ruled that SEC must review its rejection. Why is SEC important? Because almost every central bank, in the world, all the countries in the world are looking at SEC and how they, if they want to reject, how they can reject, Grayscale's attempt to convert the GBTC into an exchange-traded fund. Because this ruling has actually created a pathway for the spot Bitcoin ETF. We know what Bitcoin is for, but what in the scheme of things, it has created a pathway. So with an onslaught of other applications, SEC is feeling the pressure. Now, having said that, so what we're looking at is when it goes back to gold pegging or silver pegging, that I think Ms. Mausko has already shared with us. There was a period in time we call the golden era actually, where because it's gold pegged, all right, trade balances kind of balance itself out, surplus and deficit. And this era in time, there was technology improvement, yes, but there was also no inflation. So people generally wealth was actually in real terms was increased. Whereas now it is not. We got to nominal and real term. We got to divide between the both. So you have inflation going up. You have interest rate going up. They do the same thing, right? It decimates your purchasing power. Thanks.
So Lily, how do you see Mausko when Mausko talk about fiat currency again against the backdrop of cryptocurrency? What do you think he's trying to tell us?
Well,
Lily.
at the end of the day, it's stability, isn't it? Stability in the financial system. During the sort of during the days of when the financial system is gold pegged, there's stability, just like what Jesse said. Nowadays, when the technology can provide transparency, people want to an answer for inflation, because inflation causes instability of sort of can sort of determine the stability of a country. Just look at African country like Zimbabwe, the inflation rate, and look at Venezuela, how much instability it has caused in the region and the life of the people. So people want an answer to inflation. So blockchain currency can provide that. It's the only technology available now that can provide this transparency. And well, of course, the cost saving as well. So people do not want out of control paper printing that is not pegged to nothing. So even countries, poor countries, dictatorial countries are buying up gold to safeguard themselves. So again, at the end of the day, it's also confidence. What people place confidence in. People do not have confidence in fiat, in paper money. So if cryptocurrency is the next best thing, they will go for it. So at the end of the day, it's still confidence, where people place their confidence in.
Yeah.
You know,
can I jump in here?
Yep, sure, please.
Can I jump in here, like, because I like what Lily has said, the confidence and transparency, and we are in a, actually, because of the Russia-Ukraine war, right? We have seen USD being weaponized. So those who have, moving the market makers, they are going like, oh, hang on, if America can do this to someone, and they can do this to anyone. So there is a fear now. There's a fear factor, and we are at we are at a juncture where a TINA situation. There is no alternative, or is there an alternative? Now, granted, blockchain is still not is in infancy, actually, going through the tumble and tossing. But they're looking at it, they could be going like, how could this be a parallel system, or will they back on a dictatorial, like, for example, the digital renminbi as being a competitive currency against the USD as a reserve currency or payment currency? We know that cannot happen as a reserve currency, because it's not liquid enough. That's number one. And number two, a lot of people, it has to be rule based, and because it has to be rule based, and CCP land there is a rule of law, but it is their law, not the rule of law. Rule of their law, actually. Henceforth, will you put your billions in renminbi? I don't think so. If you're not even protected by the rule of law, and women fancy. So henceforth, it augurs well for cryptos, actually. Yep. Thanks.
And the other thing is that, of course, once crypto comes in, you take the minting rights out of a central authority, and that's what the SEC doesn't like. And of course, the master behind SEC doesn't like that. With cryptocurrency companies minting their own stablecoin, yes, it's pegged to something. It can be pegged to fiat. It can be pegged to gold. Even better, takes the ability to mint the exclusive right away from a central government. Oh, that's the biggest reason why they don't like cryptocurrencies. And that's the nature of DeFi, right? And especially if a company is able to come up with a complete ecosystem that has both stable coin, gives people the very important, because stable coin will allow people to have a certain gauge, right? When you buy an apple today, it is $1. The next day is also $1 in crypto, a stable coin. It gives a certain point of reference. And then at the same time, they also have a floating coin. Whatever floating coin is minted, it is actually absorbed by the market. That's what that gives the price appreciation. And that being the case, it's a complete ecosystem. It's no longer a case of a fiat currency. Today I have to pay $100 for a same basket of goods. Tomorrow it becomes $150. When my purchasing power has just gone down by half. So that is actually what people are not liking, because every day they are peddling 9 to 5 in the office or whatever job that they do, only to receive not only lesser and lesser, the ability to purchase the basket of goods is lesser and lesser. Nobody likes that. Why people want to buy real estate, thinking the price goes up? Actually, the price doesn't really go up. It is actually our purchasing power has gone down. That's what contribute to the bulk of price appreciation as far as real estate is concerned. So that being the case, people like DeFi for the reason that we have all talked about, which is, they are moving away from a tyrannical government, that is wanting to have the exclusive right to mint, an exclusive right to turn off our ability to have freedom in using our own money by saying all these things, AML and all this sort of thing. But actually, they don't catch the big guys; they catch the little guys like us. Even when we transfer a few $1,000s, they will try to clamp it down. They say, "Oh, are you involved in scam? Where is your the origin of a fund?" There's too many questions on the little guys, but the big guys are transferring billions and trillions, and they say nothing. So that's the reason why the DeFi and the blockchain technology is a trend that nobody can stop. Now, not SEC and no other reserve bank can stop that. So, Jesse, do you have any last thing you want to say before we conclude?
No, well said, actually, very well said. Because if we are sovereign, therefore our money should be sovereign, and we should retain the power to spend the money that the way we like. But this is not the case, so it's pretty clear now. Thanks. Well said. Thanks,
Lily.
That I've got nothing else to add. Cryptocurrency is the way for the future.
Yep, DeFi and blockchain technology, and of course you have to look into Himalayan Exchange, because it is once SEC takes the paws away from Himalayan Exchange, we will fly. Last thing, before we go, we are going to remind everybody it's daylight saving in Australia now. The time has changed to, as far as Eastern states are concerned, it is 12 noon on a Monday, and as far as Beijing time is concerned, it's still 9 a.m. And if you're in New York side of the world, it is actually 9 p.m. on a Sunday. Now, last but not least, we always have to show you what we have for G-Fashion. G-Fashion is one business that uses HPay. HPay is still functioning despite the clampdown by SEC. It's still functioning. Over to you, Flower.
熟悉的字眼，却不知不觉离我越来越遥远。曾经那个意气风发的少年，为了生存只能拼命挣钱。 财富是他们画下的大饼，虚幻背后发现全都是陷阱，各种经济暴雷，房价崩得稀碎，抬起头前路一片漆黑。Welcome to the world, to the new world. Welcome to the world, yes, going to the moon. Welcome to the world, to the new world. Welcome to the world, yes, going to the moon. Yes, going to the moon. Yes, going to the moon. 安全对前沿加密技术出手，让你的财富没人能夺走。稳定币、浮动币设计天下无双，还有20%黄金挂钩，摧毁不停压榨你的机器，从此不再做金钱的奴隶。洗联储的大门永远展开向你，前途光明就在洗币。Welcome to the world.